Welcome back to NVN Motorworks. This is Abby, Sales Manager. Let's talk about matte cars today. So at the moment, or actually in the past few years, I've noticed that there's more and more matte cars on the road. It seems to be a trend for cars actually to have matte paint as well. So for example, you see now a lot of matte Mercedes that come with the factory finished paint. But actually, I haven't got any Mercedes to show you today. That's a lie, I have one. But I do have two matte painted Ferraris here that we're going to talk about later. So let's talk about this G63 first, this Stronger Than Time edition. I wanted to kind of mention it first because, as I say, it's kind of most common, I suppose, at the moment to see Mercedes with factory paint finish rather than any other brand that we see on a regular basis. So this car here has the factory finish matte paint, but what we did is we put the stealth paint protection film on top. As I've mentioned before in our previous videos, when you have matte paint, you can't polish it. So any scratches, like swirl marks you get on the surface, once they're there, they're there. If you try and polish matte paint, you will basically turn it shiny and you will ruin it. And not only that, if your paint unfortunately does get damaged, you would actually have to have it painted. But of course, on the other hand, it's very difficult even for a dealership to get the paint exact so it matches like for like across the panels. So you want to really ideally preserve that original paint, which is why the matte paint protection film is an excellent option in this situation. So since we're here, I'll also mention again just how complicated a G63 is. You see it against a Range Rover, and a Range Rover uses about 24 square meters of material. A G-Wagon, you look at them, compare them kind of in size, this actually uses around 31, 32 square meters of material, so it's such a big amount in comparison, and you have all of these curves and all of these edges and all of these small parts which actually contribute to using all this extra material. And because it's such a curvy car as well, you need to make sure the finish is flawless. I'm sure that I could have told you that this car has no PPF on it and you would have believed me. That's the point. The PPF should be flawless, especially with so many curves and edges like this. You can't afford to have any ugly peels. Even actually on the template of these cars, there is some seams, there has to be because of all the curves, but we did actually manage to delete a few ourselves just to make it as neat as possible as well. So back over to the Ferraris, these are actually quite rare to have because you hardly ever see a matte painted Ferrari. However, both of these clients, they have the matte paint and then the matte PPF on top. So this car we're not working on today, but it did come in for some interior work, but you can still see the matte PPF. And then on the other side, we have this pista here, and you can see, remember the labels I said about before with the colors? This color is Bianco Italia Opaco. The owner of this car is very, very brave, because if you have a white car with matte as well, actually if this gets dirty, like any black kind of dirt gets onto it, it can also be really difficult to to clean off. I'm waffling today. And the customer is even more brave because they've also gone for this absolutely stunning interior, which matches exactly the exterior of the car. But imagine how important it is to protect this car with PPF. If you're gonna have matte paint, you know how much PPF is important anyway, but if you're gonna have matte paint, it is absolutely imperative because you cannot really ever get 100% a very good finish, even from the dealership. When it comes to matte painting, it's very, very difficult. And of course, on cars like this, you always want to avoid doing any painting anyway, because you want the original paint if possible forever. And then this one is a conversion. So I think if you come around here, actually you can see the roof there, and then you can see down here, you still have some little exposed parts like the fuel cap and also the door handles, which we haven't actually protected yet in PPF, but they will all go this matte color in the end. When you do a conversion from gloss to stealth, you get accentuation of the curves, so it gives the car a totally different look, but you also get the benefit that the paint underneath is easily repairable and polishable if needed. So if it was me personally, I would probably prefer to order a car in the gloss color of paint, and then I'd put a stealth conversion on top of it, because then I'd have less calms if there's a problem later with any paint damage or anything like this. But it's down to personal preference. Some customers want the matte paint from the beginning, and then they're still happy to put the stealth on top and protect it. But this car is interesting because we're actually doing a few changes on it as well. So for example, we're going to keep the black parts glossy so you have like a contrast. We're going to change the grille for the client. It's going to be a black grille. And then I'm not sure what yet, but it is going to have a nice tint, which is why we've got the shades here. Customers yet to decide on the shades of tint, but either way, whatever the tint we go for, it's going to look amazing when we finish this for sure. And one more thing I forgot, we're actually going to do a chrome delete on this strip here, because if you look at the rest of the car, it's all blacked out. It's a bit strange that this is left. So I think the customer is actually going to change the exhaust as well, so it makes sense that there'll be no other chrome on the car, which is why we're going to chrome delete this. Roel is going to do it. And what do you think of the car, Roel?
Yes, I love it.
You love it? You like the stealth?
Yeah.
You're perfect. So please let us know what you think. Let us know if you prefer a glossy finish or a matte finish. For me, it depends on the vehicle. There's lots of different circumstances. But please, as always, remember to like, share, subscribe. If you've been watching our channel but you haven't subscribed, please do. It really helps us out. Have a wonderful day. Speak to you next time.